for the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. I represent Bahamian people. I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up Dayton, bro. Where I from Dayton, bro. Right between West and Augusta, where them two roads meet, they call it Wilkinson Street. Manners and respect was like a check. It seems the ones that come in after quick to disrespect. You see, this life in the ghetto never easy. So many hungry days break till it grieve me. Way I doing the best I can, trying to turn my dollar to 100 grand. I represent the ghetto people. I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up Dayton, bro. Where I from Dayton, bro. Don't take no back talk, no bribe or no joke. If you find fire, you definitely find smoke. Dayton, bro. Where I from Dayton, bro. Dayton, I say up and running. Caliban say my show boy don't ever give in. 7 years of farming, watch the crops them coming. True they see a humble thing, the lion sleeping. But they ain't for no reason. Only God that I believe in, living. Watch them only pass through for a season. God bless, I go weed them. I represent the ghetto people.
Good evening, or I should say Bahamas, and welcome yet again to another edition of Inside the Inner City that premieres every Friday at 6:30 to 8 p.m. on Guardian Radio 96. I'm your host, Valentino Brown. So many nicknames: Scrooge, MP, Mayor, host of the talk show Inside the Inner City. Telephone numbers tonight are 323-6232, 325-4316, and 325-4259. And you can text us, powered by PTC, at 422-GR96. I hope you're enjoying the wonderful Friday. It's the weekend. I would like to say to all motorists, please drive with due care and caution. And those who going out to party, please refrain from altercation, because we see what's happening in the country right now. We are losing a lot of lives in the country of altercation. We got to know when to de-escalate certain situation in the country. But, you know, we have a long way to go. And I'd just like to say to each and every one of you that you have the power of life and death in your hand when you live with your host. You know, there are people you're going to meet out there who are going to upset you and cause you get out of character. You're going to have to control your temper, all right? Because there are a lot of dangerous people living in our country today. As we can see, we're close to about 60 murders already in the country. So you have the life. You have your life in your hands. You know, if you go to the nightclub and you're arguing with anybody, if you could walk away, walk away. If you're having a problem with your girlfriend, if you can't solve it right then and there, walk away. You know, same vice versa with girls. You know, this is the way to preserve your life. You know, because life is short right now. All right? So preserve your life, you know. This week's show, I was going to talk about BPL and a little bit of the shooting that happened in my court. But I might be able to, but I have a very special guest, you know, ambassador of the Bahamas, who contributed greatly to the development of the sports regime here in the country and put us on the map for many years. We also have Demetrius Pinder, you know, who athlete, and you know, has done tremendously great for the Bahamas. Also put us on the map, you know, and we all know that Chris Fireman Brown, you know, got a promotion as ambassador. And, you know, besides him being an ambassador, you know, he talks about God wherever he goes, you know, when he participates around the world, you know, when he was that athlete, he would always show utmost respect to the Bahamas, utmost respect to the God. But most importantly, he always supported the Bahamian people. And to me, he is a brother to me. And he reached out to me a few days ago telling me about his program that he has coming up. but I want him to come and talk about the program. Him and Dimitri Spitno. I was on Zoom and let them come and introduce themselves here tonight. But Chris, you're not going to get away today because before we get into your program that you will be doing in the Family Islands in Nassau, also you also will be going Eleuthera, Cat Island, and Andros. You'll be going to Eleuthera July 13th, and then September 7th, Cat Island, then October 5th, Andros. And this year's the Chris Fireman Brand Rise of Champions track camp. So Chris is not just ambassador, one of the Bahamas' greatest athletes. He also is a community leader who wants to give back and has been giving back for many, many years. So we have Chris on the line. Could we get Chris? Good night. Chris, you there?
Good night. I'm here.
Hey, I'm fine, brother. I'm fine. So how's things?
Good. Everything is good, man. Thanks for having us online. Myself and Dimitri Spitno. I know Ramon and Michael's supposed to be joining us later, but I appreciate you having us, and good hearing your voice again. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Tell me one thing before we start. How it is to be an ambassador for the Bahamas?
It's great. It's a pleasure to represent the Bahamas as an ambassador. It has its perks and its ups, and it's a pleasure. I'm glad that the government actually recognized that on this level, my accomplishments and all my achievements, and know that I'm willing and looking forward to contributing to the Bahamas and helping the next generation of Bahamian athletes to soar to the top and reach their goals and believe in themselves, and to always keep God first.
Yeah, that's you. So,
and also to build relationships.
That's very important, to build relationships.
Correct.
Wow, awesome. So, Chris, one more last question about what are some of the tasks of an ambassador representing the Bahamas? You're an ambassador for which state?
I'm sports at large. So anything that has to do with sports,
Okay.
Helping to promote it, build events, bring events to the country, just representing, building relationships, and continue to promote the Bahamas and Sports and Paradise brand. So I'm not actually tied to any specific country.
Wow, awesome. You're in the way, sir. Wow. We get to meet.
Sir.
Go ahead, Mr. Brown.
No, I was agreeing with you.
Okay. We have Dimitri Spitno there. Could we let him introduce himself to the general public, if you could, sir? Good night to you.
Yes, good evening. How everybody doing?
Everyone is doing fine, and they're listening to you as well. Go ahead, sir.
Good. Yes, well, I'm Dimitri Spitno, and I just want to say thank you, Guardian, for having us on here tonight, to speak about, stuff that Chris had planned for myself and the rest of the fellas. It's a pleasure to always follow in the footsteps of a guy who's been doing it before us. You know what I mean? Yes. And was doing it. He probably still could do it right now, which
Yes.
is crazy. but man, it's just a pleasure to be a part of this journey. Of changing some of the future athletes of the Bahamas lives, man, and doing it together as a team.
Wow.
As you guys know, when we started in 2012, nobody believed in us then, but this mission that we're on, I think it's gonna make a big impact on the Bahamas athletics, especially track and field.
Wow, awesome. Especially how we get Chris and yourself out there promoting the Bahamian athletes, and also you will be training Bahamian athletes with this camp. So this is what this camp is all about. You guys really giving back and to see which of the best talent you could find with these kids and prepare them for the future.
Man, yeah. That's the goal, man. That's what we trying to do. You know what I mean? Finding the athletes. Even getting them in one place.
Wow.
And providing that type of training and bringing them, like a camp.
Wow.
Provide that professional, mentality in their mind from now. And that's why people always say, man, why Jamaica so good? Why U.S. so good? Like they forming these and branding these kids from young.
Wow.
and we not. You know what I mean? It's more than just you lead the track. The supplements, the meal plans, the sleeping on time, it's the recovery. We ain't even get into that part. So that's a whole nother rim. You got to recover more than you drink,
Wow.
and we don't do none of that. You know what I mean? So it's a blessing for Chris to get us up, man, to do something like this because, man, it's huge. It's huge.
Wow. Really unbelievable.
And then we also
Go ahead,
we
Chris.
also have we also have an educational part to it as well because we know that this is going to bring exposure to our country, and we also know too that students today can get scholarships. We know a lot of parents in the country can't afford it, so we want to open it. We want to have a gateway for talent to be able to filter to this program and be able to go out there and represent the Bahamas as well as gain scholarship and further their education throughout society and become good, decent human beings in society.
Wow, that's awesome. You see, Bayman and those who are listening around the world, you see that persons like Chris and Demetrius, who came from nothing. It's hard to believe that came from nothing would do all they can, that when they get in a position where they can help. You're at scholarship, you're in camp. Now you're hearing these guys talking about bringing athletes together because, they won in one camp. Demetrius Pinder talked about the fact that, the United States and the Jamaican athletes are training from small, and that's why they're so good, and we BMs are training at late. You could imagine, we got a few gold medals, right? But you could imagine if we were picking up that curricula like the United States and Jamaica, where we're training our kids and sponsoring them from young, you could imagine how much gold medals and great athletes we could have in the country. And even we don't even have these equipment, but we're one of the smallest countries in the world. We still was able to get up on the podium a few times in the Olympics.
Hey, let me even stop you right there. We don't have to imagine no longer.
Wow.
Because I recently just bought and about to launch the first ever training athletes recovery center in Freeport, Grand Bahama. Yeah. So all the things that we've been looking for and needing, I will have it right here in the Bahamas. So when we gather up all these kids, it's gonna be the home for them. We're gonna have all we gotta do is get the housing situation. I have people already ready to even put the kids on homeschooling. That way we could focus and train more than once a day. Wow. Like it's we just talking about it now, but we've been had this plan for the kids of the Bahamas. So Chris bringing it up front and about to put light to it is something everybody else is now seeing. But this has been the plan for us. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But we ain't gonna talk too much about it, but just know it's no more than you imagine. It's gonna happen. It's happening.
Chris has been saying this from years and years and years. He's saying that if we put our interest where we need to put it, and he said if we ever get in a position, he would make this come to light, and we're seeing it come to light as we speak today. I want to congratulate you guys on a wonderful job. But let me ask you something, Mr. Ben. What are you doing professionally for yourself right now?
Right now, so that's one of the business I just started to open up inside of Freeport, Grand Bahama, because I was living in the U.S. and it dawned on me that, man, I was training kids in the U.S. and had a lot of them running super fast. Yeah. And I'm like, why just don't go home and do this for my own people? Because these kids is flying. I could do the same thing if I go back home. You know what I'm saying? So I picked up about 3 months ago, came here and started working on opening up their recovery. So that'll be open in 2 weeks. Just having the stuff that the athletes need to recover, man. Like hyperbaric chambers, saunas, ice tubs. I have all those stuff already in there that I wish I had when I was competing. I think I would have stayed home. It would have saved me money too. But we don't or didn't have that type of recovery and stuff like that. Equipment's in the Bahamas dealing with any, and it's not even just track and field. That's the thing, and that alone will bring professional athletes, football players who go training for combines and stuff like that to know that I could go train in Freeport because they got a recovery center. I could go hard because they got a place that could take care of my body. So it's gonna open up rooms for our own future athletes.
Wow, just amazing, man. You see that? He used the opportunity what he got. Came from nothing. He tried hard, tried high school, junior high school. Be success, get a scholarship, Went away now. Look what the young man is doing now. The young man is giving back. Come up with his business plan now. He's now retired. You know what I mean? You understand? This is the type of mentality and what kind of citizens we need for this country to take this country forward. Wow.
Boy, there's diamond in the rough, boy. It's hard to find people like Chris. I can tell you that right now.
Yes, he's really sincere. I see the phone. Yep. I see the phone is ringing. You guys want to take a call? Listen to this call. Most
definitely, man. Definitely.
We're going to take this call on Guardian Radio. Good night. Caller, you there? Caller, you there? Well, the phone is breaking up, so let's ask him again. 1 second.
Hello.
Good night.
Hey, Scrooge.
Good night to you.
Sparky here.
How I can help you tonight, Sparky?
Boy, you got all these gentlemen, but you don't reach so hard.
Yeah, how I can help you?
Boy, I'm Scrooge, listen to you talk with that gentleman.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Let me get out of work.
You're breaking up a little bit. Go ahead.
Hold on. Okay. Scrooge, when I listen to you talk with the gentleman there about these things that have been happening so long time ago, and I always feel so proud when we see our athletes upon these podiums around the world, and it seems like this just happened, and people don't realize how big this is. When we look at ourselves as per capita, we use this word per capita a little loosely, but when you look at our country, we only registered, we say, about 400,000 people, right?
Yes, sir.
Not even 500,000.
Yes, sir.
You got countries right to the south of us, like Haiti got 11 million. Cuba got 13 million. Dominican Republic got a couple million. Puerto Rico, they got in the millions. Some people, like, when you watch in July and you watch the introductions to the athletes when they're walking in the stadium that first night with their flags and stuff.
Yes, sir.
You got countries like India with millions on top of millions of people. And sometimes them countries where they got the flag bearer going in. Bicep. You ever notice that some of them countries with million people say they have 2 or 3 athletes? We got 400,000. And we started the whole regiment. Now maybe out of our whole regiment, maybe one might hit a bronze medal or a silver medal. Then all of a sudden we see a relay team or 1 or 2 individuals hit the podium at a gold medal. If you really take back and think about how big that is per capita, we were on the lead in the world,
Yeah, we spinning in the top 100.
Long time from Scrooge, from Tommy Robinson and Perry Christie then.
Yes.
Used to go off to the Commonwealth Games.
Okay.
And to the picks.
Okay.
When was he going? Like maybe Perry 1 go. Or Tommy Robinson or him 1 go. Okay. Maybe with a coach. And the coach maybe wasn't a Bahamian coach, maybe was a college coach.
Yeah.
If you think back, and I remember Scrooge back in the 70s.
Yeah, I know, but I'm really gonna get Chris. I will get Chris. Yeah, I know, but I really gonna get Chris and Demetrius really to talk.
Well, let me say this last
make it real quick, please.
Okay, I remember back in the 70s when I made the Bahamas national first volleyball team that was traveling to represent the Bahamas.
Yes, sir.
We went to Sarasota, Florida. And it was $300. That was room and board or overnight. And then we go to the gym the next day to play the people from there. When we walk across the road to this stadium, Scrooge,
yes, sir,
was the first time I ever walked in a stadium. The roof was so high, it looked like the water tower was on top of the water tower. And if you open your mouth, you echo.
Yes, sir.
Our building was like a bathroom to the hall.
Yes, sir.
And you would have been so proud to say, wow, I really made it to the Bahamas.
Oh, awesome.
Think with these things, man. These are things that happened a long time ago when you was a little boy. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. We're going to take this next call real quick. Caller, can make it real quick because we really want to hear what Demetrius and...
Only they did start in a way.
Good night.
Justice law and all in this country, the Bahamas.
Yes, good night. How we can help you tonight?
It's not a matter of fact of helping me, how we can help the Bahamas. What I want to say, right?
Yes.
Several things. You spoke of the bunch of murders.
No, we ain't helping that right now. I have Chris
No,
Brown.
I want to give you, I want to just say something pertaining to that.
Yes, go ahead.
those people in which was going around with talking about establishing gang and say this gang member and other gang member and stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
To say the people were responsible for the murders that are happening in this country today, because those people who have done those things, hello?
Go ahead.
They had set the wrong example. And some people behind it today, and that's what's causing the problem. It's stupidness. Thank you.
I want to say again a good night. Chris, you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Some of these callers, they like to talk, but we didn't really get to the positive stuff. So yeah, it's all about giving back, and you have been giving back for over 27, 30-something years in the country, and now that you're an ambassador, but you're also saying you're an ambassador for sports. You and Demetrius Spindler, he has this great program where he will be dealing with the physical part of athletes coming off injuries, which is a big issue. We watching Kawhi Leonard in the Clippers in LA, and he have this injury, and many people would say, well, he could play, but he keep on explaining that he needs the right therapy, he needs the right equipment for him to be 100%. He don't want to be 90%. So Demetrius, he has come up with a plan. He's retired. He also wants to give back, but he understands the importance of establishing something in his hometown where he grew up in and where he's going to give back himself, that he's going to come up with a great idea to have one of these facilities where he also can have athletes, football athletes, and come down and use it as a place to interact with Bahamian athletes. And this also would inspire them. So tell us a little bit about this camp that you're having on July 13th, September 7th, and October 5th. The 13th is in Eleuthera, and September 7th is in Cat Island, and then on the 5th of October is in Andros. Could you tell us a little bit about the camp and what we're looking to expect, and for those kids and grown-ups who want to attend, what can they do to be a part of it?
But these camps, these series of camps are only for the kids, and it's our way of finding balance. And we want to make sure, for the track, because at the end of the day, you still need your education to go through life. So we want to be able to expose them to professional resources, and like Demetrius was saying earlier, expose them to the technology that's out to date. Where, hey, a few years ago, when him and I was running, we couldn't afford these things, but today now he has it at his disposal, and he's willing to share that knowledge and basically be able to help. So the training camp is developing the next generation of athletes and fostering them through life, and just making sure, sharing that knowledge and just making sure that at the end of the day, there's somebody there to carry the baton, and we want to share the wealth and share the knowledge. And the camp is actually a free camp, so
it's free.
It's not open to the public.
It's a free camp?
Yes, it's a free camp, and it's not open to the public. So it's a one-day only camp. We're still working on a lot of logistics for the other camps, and also we have a lot of big plans for next year, but we can't get to next year until we actually get through this one.
No, you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere.
Yes. So we go into the family islands first, find the talent, the gems, look under the rocks and find those jewels. At the end of the day, they're there, but they need to be discovered, and we are willing to help out. And the Golden Knights are going to be out full force, and be some special guests that's going to join us along the journey as well. Special guests.
I can imagine, with your clientele of friends around the world, and you in the U.S., and you being one of the greatest athletes in the Caribbean along, in the world as well. You have extensive relationship. Demetrius Spindler just as well, I guess, to his facility that he be building. We're going to see top-class athletes, former athletes from around the world coming here to Freeport, so also to, I think, Eleuthera and Cat Island and Andros. It's going to be wonderful that one day. So, Mr. Bender.
Yes, sir.
Tell me something. I know you were really inspired. You know older than what 32, 33, or a little older than that?
Yeah, a little bit older than that.
Little bit older.
I just turned 35, man.
That's 35, time goes by. Tell me something.
Yeah, it flies.
You ever went on H Street Park with Nate McKinney?
No, I never.
Okay. I was trying to remember. Yeah, it's a I can see you really sincere on what you're doing. So, what you think is going to be very beneficial for that part of Freeport that you have in your facility?
What would you mean? What equipment would be very you trying to say what equipment would be good, or you saying like what's beneficial in
Yeah,
general?
I like beneficial for the community. I mean, we know when the athletes come there, and now that they have a
Right.
place to train, I mean, it's going to be very. Let me say that it's going to be very beneficial to those who use the facility to either get physical training or whatever it is that you're going to be doing there. Tell us some of the stuff like what you would be doing.
What would be the real beneficial is the kids being in one group,
Wow.
seeing each other, seeing each other go hard on a day-to-day basis. It makes you want to do right. You know what I mean? And seeing somebody else seeing somebody else eating right and just taking their supplements, they going to sleep. When you're in a training group, like it brings the best out of you. Like the best of the best training together, it brings the best out of you. So having that one under one roof with all the Bohemian athletes will definitely be beneficial for the kids. Right now they wherever they at training and all that. When they leave, they going home and probably eating KFC and all that. But when they went with us, they go to train. We're gonna go back home. We're gonna have a chef prepare their meals and everything. So it's gonna be in line of they will have no choice but to run fast.
Wow.
and that's how we're trying to set things
Okay.
up to make sure everything that they come and do will be beneficial. So
Wow.
not just even the training or not just using the recovery center, just the environment alone
Wow.
will help the kids just want to do better.
And you're teaching them what supplements, like what they put in their body. You talk about the KFC and et cetera, because you go to practice, over here, and then you go leave from practice and you go eat Kentucky. So that can't work.
Mine is the body fuels off of what you put inside of it. You got a man like Chris Brown. Chris don't eat meat. Look how he one of the one who lasted the longest.
Yeah.
So if that don't tell you something,
Yeah, that's true.
you see what I'm saying? You gotta think about these things. You know what I mean? What we putting inside our body when we trying to compete in a high level. You never see a Ferrari put 85 gas. It don't work. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing as fueling the body. Everything has to be a high end to make sure that what you put in, you can put back out on the track.
Wow, just amazing. Chris, you said it was going to be more. It's just going to be more than the camp. You're talking educational purpose. You talk about scholarship. We expect anything more like as the next year rolling, because this is the first year. You're just planning. You're getting off the ground with you and Demetrius in the group, and then you're going to be stronger the next year. All right. So
Yes. We want the kids to come out and have fun. We want them to have a fun time, we want them to be able to bond. We want to bring the unity together because we know at the end of the day, unity is strength. We want to be able to expose them to some new things, health and wellness as well, and also just healthy lifestyle. Like even if you're not going to become an Olympic or world champion or a professional baseball or basketball player, at least live healthy and come out and exercise daily. Start that young habit now so that by the time you get a little older, you'll be able to create and keep healthy habits going on. And just a nice vibe with exercising. You want to feel good and look good, so exercise and put that work in to stay in shape and feel great.
wow. So having the camp, Demetrius talked about the fact that having one all under one roof. So that means that we're practicing, we're training together, right? And just if we run the 100, 200, and I get beat. Chris is gonna look, the instructor's gonna look and say, you know what, you can run faster than him and you could beat him, but you have to learn to practice and do your start better, and etc. And then competing against one another. Well, push, because he beat me all the time, and I'm gonna beat him this one time. It'll be a friendly friendship relationship that would develop while he's getting in camp, and from they leave camp, wherever they could one another, helping one another, and bonding together like one another, like how you and Chris are bonding together right now. So you're also building that family relationship.
Correct.
Wow, awesome, awesome. So,
Yeah. Great.
go ahead.
Yes, I was saying people know when one win, we all win. So for us, we can get one or two off the college and be able to get a scholarship. We all win because we got two off the college and they benefited a lot from the camp. And we just want to be able to, you know, give out back to the society that, you know, and when they get big and older, they'll be able to do the same thing in return. So we're just trying to be the trendsetters and the ball rollers right now because at the end of the day, like you said earlier, not everybody's going to win. So that is a part of the teaching element that we're going to put in foster in there because you can't win all and learn how to win with dignity and learn how to lose with pride. So again, when you represent the Bahamas, you win some and you lose some. I've been through that. Demetrius has been through that. As a matter of fact, I think we all been to the very bottom and climbing our way up to the top. And going to the top, we got to continue to watch and have our backs, each other's backs.
Wow, that's awesome. To the general public out there, let me explain something to you. you if you're looking for government to make changes in the country, you can forget about it. It takes persons like Chris Brown, Dimitri Spender, who took advantage of the opportunities that was presented to them from the Bahamas and the country itself. And I'm talking about, there's a primary school, there's a junior high school, there's a senior high school. They went through all those procedures, and then they went to training through high school and et cetera like that. Then they find something they love, and that was track. You understand? You could find carpentry, you could find whatever you want, and they used that, to get scholarship. And when they got their scholarship, they went away, and they performed overseas, and eventually lose some. Eventually they got better, win, and now, Demetrius is retired now. Chris is was on his way out now, but he's an ambassador for the country. But look what they're using their skills for now. They see what's lacking in the country. So now they're using their experience and they're finding a solution and they're pulling it together now to bring a batch of kids to these tree camps, which should be consistent, not just this year, but next year, and it'll be bigger next year and bigger the year after. But the whole point of this is that they're going to harness these kids' skills. Like Chris said, some of them are not going to win. Lose some, win some. Some might not be good in sports. They may not excel in sports, but they may be good in a medical field that they got a scholarship from. The college they're going to, they could go learn different trades. So even if they're not successful as an athlete, even though they participate, at the end of the day, they still get the best training from some of the most decent set of people in the world, Chris Brown, Demetrius, and whoever will be coming to the camp. They get the best enlightenment, how and what is right, what is wrong, what to put in your body. So these experiences all together would bring a next generation of athletes who would appreciate what Chris did, what Demetrius did, what all those persons did for them at that camp. And they'd instill it in themselves. And when they become successful, they would have the next generation. That's what our national anthem states. And that's what we should do as a country. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I just want to send a shout out right now to, the Minister of Youth Sports and Culture coming on board with us, to partner with us and this journey. We also speak with a few other local vendors as well to get on board with us because we know it takes a village. We can't do it alone. So we ask if anybody who want to assist us in this journey to helping to make a better Bahamas and a better Bahamas with athletes. We ask you to contact Scrooge and leave your contact information with him, and myself or Demetrius will be in contact, and we look forward to building a strong, good relationship for a better Bahamas.
Wow, that's awesome. Mr. Pender, you want to say anything to anyone out there? Word of encouragement or whatever else you'd like to say?
I'm not much of I don't I'm not much of saying talking saying thanks this or thanks that. Because there's a lot we try to say already. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You mentioned it a little bit in the beginning, but I ain't gonna go back on that.
Yes.
You didn't say it. So it's just showing right now.
Yes, it is. I mean,
our thing is just it's showing that we can do it without any help.
Right.
Pretty much. Even though we would like people to try to join in and help us any way we can, like personal, people that as far as, business minded people or business like people or people who are business owners, But everything we've tried to accomplish and get done, we pretty much done it on our own. Honestly.
I like it. I like it. I like it. So let me just say this. You guys are actually being the government, okay? Let me just tell BM people this. Most solution that comes before the government are people like Chris Brown, Demetrius, myself. You had CB Moss, you had Carlos Reed, you had all these persons out there. You had Kenya from Form, families from murdered victim. If you notice, there's the one who stand out by starting a little small program that makes sense to a lot of the country's problem. And then they make themselves known. Future, government tries to be a partner with them.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's what you have to do. You have to go there as an individual or as a team like Chris Brown and Demetrius and many others who are part of that team. And now they're going to be able to form a nice camp, but it's going to get bigger. You never know what's going to come out of this. You understand? You never know who athlete is going to come from under these guys' wing and be successful and make the country proud. But also that, they also going to make themselves proud because they're going to have a great future. Demetrius, let me ask you a question. Do you think going to school, going to college, training morning, day and night, do you think it was worth it?
To be honest with you, and a lot of parents, grown-ups probably would be mad at me saying this, but man, a lot of things I went to college for, I haven't used yet.
Wow.
To be honest with you,
Okay,
I
go
just
ahead.
haven't. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of stuff I was doing, but I haven't used anything in any sort in the real world. So I wish I could have, find other ways to learn and like stuff I was really going to be faced with in the real world and still be able to train rather than having, so much time I had to take away to go to classes.
A trade that you're good in drywall or something that you could.
Right. Like learn a trade that you directly try to learn or something like that rather than, ain't nothing wrong with school. Don't get me wrong.
No, I listen. I'm listening.
But at the same time, there's a lot that I've sat down and studied for, and I haven't seen it in the real world yet.
In other ways, they're not teaching you how to. They're sending you to school,
No, man.
but they're not telling you how to run a business or be a businessman.
No, we all know school is that's the money system.
Yeah, they want it. Yeah. Oh,
but that's another topic for another day.
I understand where you're coming from. I understand exactly what you're saying. So you're saying even though you went through all that, if you had a chance, you would go to a field like trades and stuff that which you're good in because you went to college, you learned a lot of stuff. But now you can't. It is not useful to you right now in your life.
Correct.
Lucky thing for you, you have come up with some great idea that is beneficial to you, that fits your criteria, and now you have your organization and your business will be starting.
Right. Now, you see that, and that's what doctors and nurses do. That's something they're going to use to transfer over. You see what I'm saying? But the other things, like, man, we could talk about that all day.
Okay. Okay, I like your spread. I understand exactly what you're saying. You're telling be optional. Be optional.
Exactly.
Always be open to try something new. Not that is going to be beneficial to yours. I understand what you're saying.
Exactly.
I understand. Chris.
Yes, sir.
Chris, I ain't gonna lie. You just, we met by the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. That's about 15 years ago. And we met, and ever since we met, we bonded one another. You understand? Because we were in the same field, you were there and you were fighting for athletes. Now, listen to me. Chris Brown, for all the athletes out there, I'm going to tell you all this. Personally, all athletes in the country. When Chris Brown was going to those meetings, he always used to talk about the athletes and how they get paid and how they're being treated and talk about equipments and all the stuff. He always was saying to the Bahamas government, to the minister, these are things I hear because, we went into the meeting together, he invited me in the meeting, so I was listening in, you understand? And he's having this discussion, I think it was Desmond Bannister, you understand? And he's telling the minister, we need to get the equipment, top equipments, like what Demetrius Pinder now will be having in Freeport, So when Sparky's talking about these things been happening from when I was a baby, Chris Brown, he was out there fighting for the Bahamian athletes, even though they didn't notice. But he had every opportunity he had, he would speak on people who is his colleagues. Some of them he didn't even know. But he would always mention this, and every time he has a chance to speak, he would always mention that. So, Chris, you're a real ambassador, you know.
I appreciate that, and as you saying that, you know, I've been wanting to get this out for a while. So shout out Michael and Ramon, Golden Knights. Those two guys are out busy at practice. I think Ramon is at the trials, and I know Mike is getting his one or two kids ready for the Junior Olympics. So shout out all two Golden Knight brothers who's not able to make it tonight. You know, and appreciate Demetrius on the call as well.
Wow, that's awesome.
And I appreciate 100% what you have to say. You know, you always encourage me and give me that word of wisdom. Even some days you may not know it, but sometimes when you send me my lowest point, and you know, just seeing a message from you just lifts my spirit and bring me back up. So I keep fighting for the country, and I just hope that, you know, it can trickle down to everybody else, and they can get that same feeling and be able to give back to society and just be good citizens.
Yes. I saw your potentials, you know. You already had your potential, but I saw your potential because I always tell you, anytime I listen to your speeches when you got on the podium, win or lose, you always put God first, and then you always talk about the Bahamas. And, you know, and when, you know, y'all won that gold medal at the relay, you know, the country was going crazy. You understand? And I love you for when you came and you walk in the community that I reside in, and everyone was just hailing you, man. I love the fact that you came and you went in the city community. You know, that was just awesome. You know what I mean? That was just awesome.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Still in the trenches trying to get the Golden Knights photo on the airport, which been a work in progress for a while. But you know, those guys deserve to be on the Hall of Fame, Wall of Fame. They put in work, and their families deserve to see and be proud of them. And so, still trying to put in work behind the scenes to make things happen. You know, I'm not a upfront guy, but I'm still working on that as well.
And you're a great ambassador, you know. And I always said this to you, you know. You always talk about uplifting you. A few years ago, I think it was 2-3 years ago, I told you, say, no, Chris, you know, like you saying, you was kind of down. I encouraged you, say, Chris, you know, one day they're gonna call you, Chris. You know, they're gonna recognize you. And you say, you think so? And you know, you was kind of a little down, you know, because you know you're going appreciative in this country. You know, you talk about the Knights, you know, and they're not on the wall of respect by the sports center. Okay, they're not there. We need a role at the airport. Excuse me. We need a role. The first woman NBA player to be selected in the NBA was on the show last week, and she said the similar thing. You know, she said the similar thing. She's up in the camp on the park that I reside in on Hay Street, starting Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And she said the same thing similar, you know, and a lot of athletes go unrecognized in the country. How could athletes like Demetrius Pinder, yourself, you know, you're not the pinnacle of the country's next generation. You know, you guys are the gateway, and you guys supposed to ever be in the forefront, seeing the talent, advising and giving your little 2 cents on how we could do things better. Demetrius Pinder, he just talked about the fact that, you know, about the equipments, you know, and he used his skills, how he traveled around the world, because, you know, he had to travel around the world going to different countries as a Bahamian. And when he traveled, he saw equipments that he never saw before. And now he's able to understand what those equipments are and how beneficial they are and how much they are needed in the Bahamas if we want our athletes to go to the next level on a regular basis. You understand?
Correct.
You know, and it's just amazing. And I just want to keep encouraging you guys that what you're doing is the right thing to do. You know, you guys are going to change the dynamics of sports in the country. Because I can remember a few years ago, Olympic bronze medalist Frank Rutherford, you know, he came around the community a few years ago, and he was canvassing, looking for the same talent that you guys were looking for, you know, because you guys people were looking for you as well, but, you know, you guys just had an opportunity to outshine everyone, you know. He was riding in the city community, and he heard about me during the basketball tournament, and he stopped his entourage, and he asked me, say, man, I could see the talent here. And he said, I got to get him to Houston. And I recommend 2 of the guys, homie and one next tall guy, they were more 7 foot. and they went off.
Wow.
And they went off with him. And at the same time, and he left from Hay Street Park because they said, there's Mason Edition. I said, you should check on Mason Edition. I said, there's some great athletes in Mason Edition as well. And not knowing to me, he left from Hay Street Park and he went to Mason Edition. And that's where he met Vanita Roll. And I want to know that unless she came on the show last week, that was her who he picked up. So we have the talent here. And we need persons like yourself who can see the talent. But most importantly, you guys are going, looking, and establishing so y'all can harness these kids and train them from youth to become successful, not only athletes, but human beings who will make the right choices and the right decision in life. One question before I go. How do you guys, I know what you're doing now to curb the current situation in the Bahamas. And that's poverty and that's the crime. And this is what you guys are doing this for, right? But let me ask you guys, which is one of the richest countries, this part of the Western Hemisphere, the third richest in this part of the world. How do you guys feel when you listen to the news, hear what's happening in Freeport, and hear what is happening in Nassau? How do you guys feel about that? Anyone of you could answer it.
I'll let Chris answer first.
Demetrius, I was giving you the table to answer since you're the youngest in the room, so I'll let you go ahead and answer that.
All right, break down the question to me a little bit more, please.
Okay. Everything that you guys are doing now, I know you're doing now because y'all going to give back. These programs you're doing now, y'all doing these to prevent at-risk young kids in the country. At the current trajectory, when you watch the news on a daily basis and you see like we have these murders, now we up to 50-something. But last year we had like 100, the year before last. How do you guys feel about this, living in this beautiful country, but yet still be one of the richest in this, suffering a lot of crime in this country? How do you feel about that?
Man, honestly, I feel as if we be too lenient on the repercussions. You saw some guys who will murder somebody and be out of jail in 4 or 5 months. They know it's okay. You see what I'm saying? They're like, okay, I murder somebody, I'm gonna be out either in a year or two. I think the repercussions need to be more stronger so they can start understanding. Because they don't have no fear to go to jail. They know they going there, they straight. They probably be out soon. You see what I'm saying? So the repercussions, we have to start being more stronger on the cost if you do, or what's who happens to murder somebody. You see what I'm saying? Put some fear in their hearts because they don't have no fear, or do what they doing on the road. So if we could button down on the repercussions, I think we'll see a lot of change. I promise you.
Wow. Chris, you want to say anything?
Sure. I think it's very disheartening. It's very sad because at the end of the day, you don't want to see your brother or your sister go out like this and by standards. And so I feel like when it comes to this situation, we don't really know what the parents or the family members are actually feeling. But they have to continue to live life like this after everybody already say, oh, somebody just got shot, they move on with their lives. But the family members are still grieving with this stuff that's going on. And I just believe that we can do more. There's too much division in the country. And I think that a little bit more unity and a little more strength, I believe that we go a long way as a country.
Wow. There you have it, people. We have two extraordinary beings, Demetrius Pinder and Chris Fireman Brown, ambassador, and two outstanding citizens. It's just a pleasure to have them on the show tonight, to let the general public know that there are people out there, who really care about the country and really want to give back to the next generation of males and females in the country. I hope they inspire a lot of the leaders in the country, because these guys, millionaires, they're no millionaires. They're looking to be a millionaire, you know what I mean, in the next 2-3 years and their entire lives, want to be a million, might end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 million, which they're entitled to, but I say, they're not millionaires. You understand? And I hope that they entry to do the same with a sincere heart You understand? Because these guys came from nothing, These are poor guys, Chris get a little ambassador paycheck, That's take care of his family, He put in over 20-something years in track, so he deserves everything he gets. You understand?
Appreciate that.
And Demetrius, you've been an outstanding athlete for us for many years, I used to watch you on the news, and, it's just crazy. You guys have done great with your opportunity, and I hope kids out there, younger males and females out there, you can do the same thing that these two gentlemen who are talking on the airwaves now. Like I said, they start off from humble beginnings, and now they are success and they're continuing to climb. You understand? So be encouraged that even though we are facing a serious time with crime, there are options out there for you to make better decisions. Find people like Chris, Brian, and Demetrius, camps like that, and attach yourself to these organizations and people because they have your best interests at heart. It's better than to be sitting on the blocks and not doing nothing. But the most important thing Chris them was doing, they're taking it to the people because they understand something. We have to go there. That's why they're going to Lutra, Cat Island, and Andres. Lutra on the 13th of July, and then September 7th, they'll be in Cat Island, and then October 5th in Andres. Any specific location in Andres, Chris?
Well, we're still working on those details.
Okay.
As the time comes, we will send out a flyer for information and more updates. So we're still working on that as well.
Okay.
And shout out to Levon Superman Sands, my boy, who coached one of his athletes to a gold medal at the U.S. National Championships. He's doing very well at Florida State. So big shout out to Levon Sands that they're doing his thing and his athletes doing the thing at Florida State.
Wow. And that's more, that's what you guys want to do, follow behind that footstep.
Correct.
Wow, awesome. What do you say? The Superman son, so he trained the next younger kid and he won a gold?
Yes, one of his athletes that he coached at Florida State, he won the U.S. National Championships to go to Olympic Games.
Wow, you see?
In the triple jump.
Now you see, if we keep the talent like Levon Sands, used to be him, opportunity in the United States of America. Could you imagine Demetrius, Chris Brown, everyone has an opportunity in America. That's why we have to really respect our former athletes in the country, And we need to give them a good paycheck. You understand? Because they're former, and we're hearing what Levon Sands did in the United States of America. Could you imagine what they can do here, training kids here in the Bahamas? Once he's paid the right set of money? Go ahead, Mr. Bender.
No, that's what I was saying. I was saying correct. Yep, that's exactly right.
So could you imagine why Chris, and Demetrius helped them go over to the U.S., which is good. But we in the Bahamas, and we could use them here where they really, really need it. But they can't come here and work for no $20,000 or $30,000 a year. No, they can't. They can't work. Those coaches over there, sure, Mr. Sands, he could be getting anywhere from $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, or probably even more.
Easy. And crazy people people outside of the island ready to support you more than your own.
We need to look at these things. These are some very serious things we need to take serious. We have all the tools we need right here in this country, But the tools them are leaving. The nurses are leaving. The doctors are leaving. The citizens are leaving to go live in Canada and the U.S. all about. But yet still we one of the richest Caribbean countries in the world. And yet still we underpay our most prestigious set of people who in the country. We put politicians over people who have contributed for over 30, 40 years, who are doing 10 times better job than the politicians. But yet still they denied opportunity for them to earn an honest living. I'm talking about something like $200,000, $300,000 a year because that's what they work. And we have the money, we have the resources. Because what you're going to get in return, you're going to get in return like what the U.S. Mr. Sands did in the U.S. And that is going to give you publicity. That's going to bring visitors from around the world to come to the Bahamas. That's why Jamaica's so booming now, because people saw Mama Rocket, seeing Bolt, and they started to follow them, and then started to travel in Jamaica, and they brought up the visitation of visitors because of the fame they brought to Jamaica. So it's beneficial to Jamaica, and it'd be beneficial to the Bahamas. Would you all agree on that?
Yep. I do. Well, give a shout out to one. I want to say, I don't even want to say one person, but one.
Go ahead. Feel free.
Restaurant in particular. I don't know. It's Tropical Gyros in Nassau as well.
You get me that. Go ahead.
Tropical Gyros. That's Tropical Gyros in Nassau, and then we just launched one in Freeport.
Oh, in Freeport.
I'm an ambassador for Tropical Gyros.
Honestly, good.
So
speak on
definitely want to say, man, it's some food that everybody I think should taste. Honestly,
it tastes,
and it's good healthy eating.
Tell us what kind of dishes.
Well, they got bowls, coconut infused rice.
Coconut infused rice.
They got salads, gyros, of course, all type of different sorts of protein. Gyros, jerk chicken, lemon chicken, salmon, shrimp, conch, lobster, real grouper. Not the tilapia. Man, not the tilapia. and the most sold is the lamb. Man, we open up at 11, and the lamb is gone by 12:30.
The lamb 10 days. That must be 10 though. You know the number?
Man, you got it, man. I need y'all to go taste that. I know. I ain't that done yet.
No, you promoting now. You promoting now, Ambassador. And I'm definitely going to check it out. Trust me, because I love lamb.
Trust me, man. Hey, you might call me back tomorrow. If you go tomorrow, you gonna call me tomorrow.
Okay.
I guarantee you.
I feel so. I could go check it out. I could take one of my friends. Then we can sit down and have a nice meal.
Man, good.
So this is some of the food, like, when you say healthy. So athletes can eat little something like that.
Yeah. Yes, most of the food is grilled. The only thing that we deep fried is like the lobster or the grouper. Mm-hmm. Everything else is grilled. And like I say, it's the coconut infused rice. We got a base salad where it's a huge salad to where you could put any protein on it. And you can mix it up and stuff like that. But it has a tropical taste, and the sauces is to die for. Definitely made by the chef, the owner himself, Kevin Comer. So it's something you have to experience and taste for yourself. Wow. I'm talking about, I can't say you when you eat it and we have another conversation, you'll understand what I'm saying.
Okay, because eating in the Bahamas now in the city right now is so boring. All we get is chicken wings. All we get is just chicken wings and fries and pork chop and fries. That's it.
Yeah, nah. You don't want that. It. You want to try to have a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah, man. That's all we have, man.
With taste. With taste. So I definitely advise everybody to try it, man. At least one time. It's a guarantee you will go back.
And so one location is in Freeport and one is over here in the Bahamas. I think I heard it before over here in the Bahamas.
Two locations, Pula Street and JFK.
I know it is now. All right. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Yeah, but you said Rosetta Street. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah. Okay. I definitely can check it out. I passed it once or twice, though.
Man, you can't pass it again.
I ain't gonna pass it. I can stop by.
Don't pass it again.
All right. Chris, let me ask you a question because we have a few more minutes. Are you retired, Mr. Brown?
I haven't announced my retirement yet. Not saying I'm going to go out there and compete, but if I do, I want to come home and give the Bahamian fans the opportunity to see me run the track one last time.
Boy, that could be awesome. Boy, I can imagine that. Look, boy, that'd be awesome.
Hey, if he come back, I coming back.
What?
If he come back, I coming back.
Hey, boy, that'd be awesome, Chris. I ain't like that. So I like that. You're going out on top. You contributed for many, many years, and then you're not retired yet, so you're waiting for that special moment, and you're going to decide that, and then you're going to make it a public announcement.
Yes.
What you think you're going to run?
Yes.
What you think you're going to? What you think? You think you're going to compete and run, or you just going to?
Well, I just want to stay in shape and feel great. But for right now, when that time comes, I think, like Demetrius said, it's a competitive edge. And so if I say I'm coming to compete, and Ramon is going to be there, and then Mike is going to be there, and then it's going to be a big fight at the line because it's a competitive edge in each one of us, and we know we all got a lot left in the tank.
Yeah.
So I'll have to really put myself in that mind frame to get myself in some tip-top shape because I know what can happen after that. So. Who knows? You may see us in 26 and 28. Los Angeles 2028. Good close to get retired at home.
Man, because track and field right now is at an all-time low in the Bahamas.
Yeah. Just saying.
So-
just not saying to cut you off, Demetrius. Just say the grifter just went, and someone said the same thing, and Jamaicans just clean up.
Yep.
And we talk about the grifter athletes, and this way you guys could be so useful because they lack the nutrition, they lack the equipment they need. You understand? Now that you guys are a team now, could you imagine the tutoring that you could do to these grifter athletes in the hands of you guys? Some of them who are running now and experience, and they need that experience. You can imagine them coming to your camp and then going back to the grifter the very next year. You can imagine.
They also need that. They also need that mental toughness too. So, when you get that mental toughness and you get inside the heat of the battle, and you go to that call room. Demetrius can tell you when you get in that call room, you can look in everybody's face and see what's going to happen next. So,
wow.
You definitely need that mental toughness, and that's what we want to do. We want to go to the islands, to the entire islands, and we put a lot of focus on the family islands because a lot of times the family islands are always being left out or not being seen, or if they do decide to go and find some talent just at the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to get a head start. We want to get a head start and prepare them now for the future, and that means anything. So that means, hey, you can get a superstar from now leading up to London, to 2024, 2028. So we just trying to find the next diamond in the rough and produce great athletes and bring more talent exposure to the country and to the athletes.
Because you're never going to find that diamond unless you go there and harness them, like having the camp and then seeing
Yeah.
it. That's true.
And bring track and field back to the top where it's been before.
So tell me something. Remember the relay we had a few years ago? You think that was a good idea or a bad idea to cancel it, or was it a good idea to have it in the first place? The road relays we had here at the QE Sports Center a few years ago. What's your take on it?
I mean, it's a sporting event that comes to the Bahamas. I think that it's always a plus and it's always going to be a negative. You just got to know what the negatives are and turn those negatives into positives, and then build on what you have and just prepare for the next time. I think it was a great addition to add to the calendar and to get exposure. And a lot of people who've never been to the Bahamas before, they visit the Bahamas for the first time. So it brought a lot of exposure and a lot of foreign currency to the country. And I think that, major events like those events are good for the country. And again, you just got to know how to nourish it and take care of it.
Yeah, because I learned a lot. I was there to the event. And that was I didn't know that much Jamaicans were living in the Bahamas. You know?
Plus, we have to also remember, too, that wasn't a Bahamas event. That was the IWF, which was a medics event. So we got to create our own, and that was one of the reasons why when I introduced CBBI to the country.
Chris Brown invitation?
That's what we were trying to do, create our own and build on our own, by Bahamians, for Bahamians, and for the rest of the world. So, again, we just gotta come together and work together as a team.
And, working together, it's going to change the dynamics on how you can see the directory. And that's the smart thing to understand that, a lot of our leaders in the country, they don't understand that you're going to have to collaborate. And you might have your differences, but there's a bigger goal. And that bigger goal is to create a better country and better citizens if we want to see this beautiful Bahamas that we all want to be living in and be a part of, because we have the greatest set of people in the world. I think that once we get more opportunities, we have more good people like yourself and Demetrius and many other persons who put country over politics and the church and understand that people is the key. Giving kindness, an opportunity. You ain't looking down on nobody, but trying to uplift them. And if they're wrong, you try to correct them. Let them make the right decisions and choices. And I just like to say to you guys, I admire what you guys doing because I can see where this is going. This is going upstream, not downstream. This is going upstream because with the traction they're gonna get, with the athletes coming to the camp, as it get better every year. We're going to see world-class athletes. We're going to see Grift athletes. We're going to first see high school athletes. Then we're going to see Grift athletes. And in the near future, we see Olympic athletes. We have a woman in the women's wrestling federation now, and she's making a name for herself. You understand? She's wearing a in color. So the sky is the limit, the sky is the limit. Persons who come to help you, Bahamian people, they might say things to you that you might feel is disrespectful, but it might not be disrespectful. They might be just telling you to correct some certain things and then apply it, and then you could be a better person, So sometimes you just have to listen from people who mean you good. Because, a lot of our kids want help. A lot of our people want help. But some of them don't even know what right from wrong because they've been corrupted for so long in the country. So it's
boy, not to cut you off, boy, that go for some of these coaches too.
Go ahead. Some of the coaches too. You understand?
They trying to tell you, man. They thinking you can't get the kids because they think they can take them to the next level, and it's not true. But you're trying to help them. You're trying to show them the way, but they thinking you're trying to take their athletes. I only here to help you. I ain't trying to take your athletes. I try to show you what I already went through physically with myself and what I've learned along the way. But, some people see it as someone else. They look at it like, who do you think he is coming back home? You know what I mean? I try to help.
Yeah.
We try to help.
Because you have the experience. You have the experience and you have the knowledge.
But
and
you can't tell them that.
Because
they know everything.
You see?
We know everything.
You see, I was just saying it just now. You see, the young guy says that he come to help, and might go to a camp, and the coach see him, then he get intimidated and say he want to take his athlete. What difference does it make? But the guy comes there to help. His experience, what he learned overseas, right? Mm-hmm. Applying, teaching this kid, so that when he or she is put in this position, they would go back and reflect on what Chris Brown said or what Demetrius Bender said, and they'd know exactly what to do. Vanessa Rule, she was on the show, and she said the same thing last week, what you were saying, my brother. She said the same thing. She said the same thing. Same thing. So that's us being human.
That's one of the reasons why we got to work together,
Yes.
Unity is strength, and make you stronger. It'll show that we all have a goal, the same goal. When we go there and compete, everybody is cheering for Bahamas. Sometimes they may not know the person who's running, but they know that's the Bahamian that's competing, and they're cheering for us. And then you have somebody else who's right next to you who's wanting you to not make it. They want you to fail, So that's why you got to stay prayed up. Not everybody's who smiles with you wants you to do well. So the next generation of athletes, they have to understand that. And I think with these telephones and they got to come out the house and start putting in the work and just listening to what the veterans have to say, because we actually want you to do well, and we can see them doing well, and that's why we want to make sure that we don't lose them, and we are here for them as well, because we know what we went through as athletes.
Yes, and they should listen to you guys, because I can imagine, Demetrius, you yourself lining up, and when you're lining up, you're lining up with the guy named Johnson. You can imagine the kind of, you relax, Chris. You're not being experienced, but these you guys are top runners and top 3 in the world, top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. So, you're meeting these guys probably two, 3 times at a specific meet, and they owe them breaking world records, and you're lining up with them. The exposure and the adrenaline right there. You could panic. Some people panic and can't perform. What do you say, Chris?
Yeah.
Some people panic and can't perform because they can't deal with that pressure. So you guys could actually tell them, calm yourself, pace yourself. When you get certain position, then you use your speed and use the curve and stuff like that. Because this guy is good right here. Don't try to compete with him here. And all that is a part of it. And I think that you guys are when people are trying to say, you go to a camp and you're saying one or two things to the athletes and they get offended. They get offended because they ain't sure of themselves. That's all I could say. Because it would be a privilege for me to be standing in your shoes or Chris Brown's shoes, because we watch you guys on TV. You guys perform all around the world with all the best of the athletes in the world. You guys go to the best of the restaurants, the clubs, and whatever, because you're in that city. So you're traveling. So that exposure. So you guys know how to deal with that, So people should be real grateful that when you guys speak, they should listen, because you...
Man, that's like us coming to the radio station and telling you, hey, don't turn that knob. That don't work. It don't make no sense. How we can tell you, you've already been doing this for a couple of years.
That's right.
I might know a thing or two, but I ain't know what you know.
That's right. That's
so,
right.
Anyway, man.
Wow. You guys are just doing an awesome job. So, Chris, I know you guys got to go again. Let me just give a shout out. Say this track camp, those who are interested in Elutra. Chris said they don't have to wait. They don't have to wait for the logistics yet. But the dates are set. The 18th of July, Elutra, and then it's Cat Island on the 7th, and then Andres. Okay. And then hold on, I think I mixed it up. Sorry. I mixed it up. Sorry about that, Chris.
That's okay. We gonna send out a new flyer. We got a new flyer that's coming for every island. What we doing is just going island and hopefully next year we'll add a few new islands on this calendar. But for right now, this is what our budget can afford. So if anybody who's looking to give, or anybody who wants to donate, or anybody who wants to sponsor us, get in contact with you, and you can get in contact with us, and then we let them know how they can reach us, and we can get this done together.
Okay, I'll be more than...
We gotta go to Freeport.
Okay. Awesome.
We gotta go to Freeport.
So if anyone would like to help out, with these former athletes, ambassadors, help the next generation of kids. July 13th, Elutra. September 7th, Cat Island. September 14th, Inagua. October 5th, Andres. Hold on. And November 2nd, New Providence. So not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 islands.
And we got Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama.
Dimitri, so ain't gonna let you leave him out.
So we be in Grand Bahama as well. So we just want the islands to get ready and be prepared for when we come to bring the excitement. Parents, please drop the kids off. It's not going to be one of those events where you can come out and sit down and watch, because this is a teaching environment and a lifelong lesson moment for the kids. If you guys if parents want us to host a camp, we can do it as well. We can make that happen as well. We can put that on the calendar for next year, or we can introduce that later on at a later date and time. But right now, it's all about the next generation of the kids. So please, we look forward to full support. We ask you to continue to pray for us and make sure that we are all safe and covered.
Wow. I'd like to say thank you to both of you guys. You guys are real ambassadors to the country. It's good to hear your voice. It's good that people out there listening to see what you guys are contributing and giving back to the country to help the next generation to become the best they can. And we can't ask nothing more from citizens in the country. And these guys are not just citizens. These guys have made us and put us on the map. Had us cheering, had people talking with us all around the world talking about this one little small island, and we, was able to get to the podium and was able to be successful in a lot of events. And you guys made that happen for us. And you guys are continuing that by providing y'all time. You guys look like you're not dealing too much with government, but if it come your way, it come your way. But you guys seemingly looking to do this yourself. But if help comes from corporate Bahamas or citizens who want to help kids with their future, you can contact me, or you can contact Mr. Chris Brown, or you can contact Demetrius. And they're on Facebook. I'm here at Guardian, and I'd be more than happy to transfer the information directly to Chris Brown and Mr. Demetrius Pinder, because it's very important that we understand that, helping somebody who don't know, it's being like a good Samaritan. You understand? And Good Samaritan is actually Christianity. A lot of people talk about Christianity, right? But let me tell you what Christianity is all about. Good Samaritan is a good prime example of what Christianity is supposed to really represent in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And that is like what Chris and like what Demetrius is doing, helping others to better themselves, going out their way, and they don't have the resources. They're not millionaires, but they're using their skills and their experience and one another, and using whatever they have, their connections, and they're putting it together to put together a camp that in the next few years we're going to see the fruits of those camps. Prime example, Chris Brown mentioned Sands, Levon Sands, who now is in the U.S. His protege won a gold medal. Okay?
Number one in the U.S.
And number one in the U.S. Huh? Think about that.
Hey, right.
Think about that.
Man. Crazy, man.
That's crazy. You imagine? And he's a Bahamian. And he trained. Imagine. And each one of these guys who are talking now on the radio, Demetrius and Chris, they're successful and they continue to get successful. And I wish Demetrius the best in this business venture. I wish him the best because I think as a young man, he also sees a way on how he could extend his finances as well as helping others. So it's a great way of traveling the world, right? Learning equipments, learning the procedures about health, supplements, resting, what you put in your body, training. You understand? And now he's going to be able to use that in Freeport. So you can imagine guys some even come from Russia. And go to his facility. So anyway, I just want to thank you guys for allowing me to interview you. This is what I do on Guardian Radio. They tell me find people in the country who are giving back. Not politicians, not pastors, right? But community persons who are giving back sincerely. And that's you guys here tonight, along with Vanessa, Roll, and many others who have been on the show. And that's my job, to find you guys and to let the Bahamian people know and the world know that there are good people in the world. And if we want to see crime decrease and we want a better country, we need good citizens. And good citizens are persons like a prime example of those who I talked about earlier in the show. So I just want to thank you guys. You all keep up the good work. I'm here anytime to support you guys. Any information you need to get out, I'd be more than happy to receive it, and I would play it on the airwaves. I would give updates to the general public, because I know that all of us who have this desire to see better, all have something in common. We are nation builders. We are nation builders. And I want to thank you guys, Demetrius Pinder, Ambassador Chris Fireman Brown. Thank you for the opportunity for letting me interviewing you guys here tonight on Guardian Radio. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Looking forward to it and looking forward to greatness and enjoy the rest of the evening and thanks for the platform again.
Man, it's my pleasure. I feel so good just hearing all the good work that you guys are doing, and the future is bright because in the hands of you guys, those kids are going to be great athletes. Not only great athletes, they're going to be great parents, great men, great women, and they're going to have a great future in the country. And it's all because you guys care and you all understand the importance of giving back. Thank you guys very much. You truly deserve it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And enjoy your night.
Thank you. You too.
My pleasure. Wow, crazy. Demetrius Spindler and Chris Fireman Brown did a wonderful job. He handled the programs that they are doing in the various family islands and national providence, and that's given back. And I want to thank them for doing a fantastic job of being concerned, amongst us. And I think we're going to see some great fruits be plucked off the tree from their works and those who are their partners. You have a few more minutes, so 5 minutes, so let me just talk real quick. We talked about crime a little earlier in the call I was calling, and I didn't stop him from talking, but I just want to get Chris and Demetrius to really talk about their program that they're doing in the family island of the Bahamas, because it's very important, because those guys are ambassadors and they have the most experience, and what they could bring to the table, a lot of people can't. And I talked about the situation, caught shooting yesterday by Nassau Street. Caught, and many people, were up in arms and saying that, he ain't even safe by the courts. First of all, let me explain something to the general public. The young man who got shot, he family lives in the community. And I was one of the guys leading the gang. We used to take all of them to Bay Street. And I always tell you this, it pass on to the next generation. Like when we retire, it pass on to the next generation. Then it's going to pass on to the next generation. And it ain't just about the gangs, people. It's about domestic dispute. There's so much stuff going on in this country, but domestic dispute, it's one of the main reasons as well. Gangs, drugs, and, a lot of poverty. All this plays an important role in the crime that's happening in our country. And young gentleman, he was shot by God. Have a rough past, grow up rough. You understand? And the guy who alleged shot him, what you think about him? Let me explain something to the general public. People say, well, no, the police should have been there. So what if the police was there? Probably the police was there. So you think the police can predict with all the security they have? Do you think they could predict when some crazy ass young man who don't have no fear for his life, right, decides he want to go and kill somebody, and hears that his target or his enemy is going by the court? Do you think that person is in their right mind? Don't you think they thinking about the consequences of what will happen to them if they go by court with this gun to go and attack somebody who's in the open fire? Don't you think for a minute that they be saying, boy, that's all kind of police, then they get all kind of gun? You know what those young men were saying? Listen closely. The mindset. These young guys who you see on the road don't have no God in them, all right? They are rough, they are tough, and they're illiterate, okay? They don't have no one talking to them positive. They don't want no father figure in their life. The young guys who are struggling on the streets, made bad decisions because of lack of opportunity. Let me tell you of the mindset of that young man, all right? So when they're planning and hear that this particular person going to court, people to talk. So now when they hear you going to court, this is our best time to get him. Don't you think they had a discussion? Boy, that's the court. The station there too. Now listen, people, the police station there too, on the side of the court. And you get officers on duty in the station, armed, patrol car passing around Nassau Street. Let me show you the mindset. That's why I was telling the general public, invest in our kids and our female. There's so much young man like the one who shoot the next assailant by court. You understand? Let me tell you what their mindset is. I was like that. You think I give a crap if that's the police right there? If my intended target is over there, my mind is blind. The only thing I do is I see my intended target. So I want to get my intended target. Even if my life on the line, even if I have to get in a shootout to get my target, even if someone is armed, I'm still going to take my chances. So those young men who went by court, that's what they say. Y'all got to excuse my language. That's what they say. The police? Boy, I ain't wearing no police. Huh? We shoot up all of them if they get now. That's the mindset, people. That's the mindset. They ain't checking for no police. Now, listen, there's repercussion now. Now, when you don't do this, even though your heart rate then and there, you made a bold move, a bold move by showing your ballsy. But now, the system's going to come at you now because now you embarrass the system. Now, who these police catch now? Boy, you get beat so bad. I can tell you this now. Whoever involved in the police get their information, buddy, if you live home, you better don't no drug around the house. Because when them police come, they're going to kill you. And you can't blame them. Because you went around court, you shoot around court, where a police station and judges are presiding. You had all them diving for cover. You understand? So the mindset of individuals out there in this country, you thinking they're human? A lot of these guys on the road ain't no human. A lot of these guys are monsters. Listen to me. They are monsters. Some of them don't have no soul because some of them don't have no God inside them. All right? A lot of people on the streets you see walking out are zombies. All they got in them is hate. You understand? This poverty has blind them. You understand? And if someone get them upset, dog eat your lunch. You think guys wearing at police around Nassau Street Court? It looked like they wearing the police around Nassau. This is the first time this happened. My friend Jackson Clark, we call him Tupac, and they ain't down no Parksville a year ago. He did the same thing. He was in handcuffs. His girlfriend brought him a 357 Magnum down. He was in remand, and he wanted to escape because he looking at him a little 15 years. So he persuaded his girlfriend to bring a licensed handgun downtown and it's downtown to the court, like and right now. And a girl, knowing all these police downtown, she walked past them, she wait in Rawson Square Garden, and she wait for them to come, she wait for the police to bring Jackson out with his handcuff. And then, she made her approach them. And when she made her approach them, she shoved the gun in his hand. And it's down with the prison buses, judges, Supreme Court. All right. Where? All kind of police with all kind of gun. All right. She pushed the gun in his hand. He was handcuffed. He take the gun, fire, one shot in the head, make everyone disperse. Then he pointed in a different direction. When anyone come close to him, he was able to go so far as to reach the East Street Hill, where he attempted to go to try to get into Grandstand, where he could get into Baintown, but off-duty officer was in the car park on Shirley Street and East Street. And as Jackson ran past, he saw him coming, and he yuckled his service revolver, and Jackson tried to shoot the off-duty officer, but he's able to shoot Jackson and shot him in the shoulder. And then he was apprehended. So this is nothing new. Because we have a lot of young men in this country who could care less about human life. And like I say, we have failed them because a lot of them have demons inside them. All right? And I'm going to end on this. Listen to me. That's why it's important. Listen closely. You know, I live in Grandstand. I used to walk the streets. I still live in the area, in the community. I used to walk through these shortcuts. Listen to me. The guns what I see with my eyes, Nassau is loaded with fire. Listen to me. I talking with assault rifle. I don't know where they coming in. So please, listen to me. Preserve your life beings. All right? You have to speak up and get government and churches to pool their resources together so we could find an alternative solution to many of our country's problems. We have to find programs that are going to be beneficial, because I'm going to tell you this. Listen to me. I still just walk the streets, and all I see is guns every day. And when I listen to the news, with the murders, and then I walk the streets and I see guns, and I say, guns, people. Big, heavy, 32 shooters, AR-15, AK-47, Chip Boy 40, different set of people. Different set. So the police is take over 600, 500, and 400, 600, 500, and 400 guns off the street, or 300 guns off the street every year. The last 2 years, it was like 3-something, but years before that, it was like 5, 6, 700 guns they would take off the streets every year, right? And then, even though they take 300, 400, 500 guns off the street, and a lot of assortments of ammunition, we still end up with 100 murders, right? So think about this. How many guns do you think are in the hands illegally in the Bahamas? Because I can tell you one thing. People say, that's one apple. You know one apple here. This town, for some reason, is loaded with guns, and guns is big business. And we need to find an alternative for people selling guns in this country. We need to find an alternative for guys who come out of prison. Their only means of making money is selling drugs and selling fire. This is a no-no in this country. Like I said, people, save your life. If you're driving a car, you get in an accident with anybody, listen to me, keep your mouth closed. Don't go running up your mouth, because you could lose your life right there. All right? You had a story about a young man who lost his motorbike, got knocked down, and got killed, got shot and killed, and then someone stole his motorbike. Well, you could be in the right, but wait, so many people are so illiterate. Being right now is like being wrong, because idiot person who can't understand what is right and wrong because of the poverty and because of the situation that we live in these communities for so many years, they think irrational. That means, like I said, you could be right, but to them, it's wrong. And avoid getting arguments with these people. If you're in a nightclub and you see an exit where you could get out, all right? Because some people just want to inflict violence. And the thing is, what surprised me about this whole ordeal is that they do the most heinous set of crimes, and then tomorrow they lock up. So they take your life, and then tomorrow they lock up. Man, listen, bill of voluntary indictment to go to Supreme Court. You know what that means? They finish. All right? So preserve your life. You go to these nightclubs in the country, stay away from arguments. Girls, if you have a boyfriend, stop scheming on your boyfriend. I know it's very difficult. Boyfriend, if you get a girlfriend, stop scheming on your girlfriend, because if you have a boyfriend, right now, everyone get a gun. And if you look at the last set of murders, you'd see domestic, 1 or 2 gang-related, but the majority, domestic. All right? Preserve your life, behaving people. Mothers, fathers, talk to your son, talk to your daughters. Because the life they save could be their very own. I'm completely out of time. I just want to say the last part, you know. The mindset of those guys who see by court, who shoot their arch rival, hey, they ain't your own people. Listen to me. I talk to these young guys. All right? Because you got to be able to still communicate. They respect me. I don't overstep my boundaries and try be disrespectful to them. Because when I was on the road running the streets, hey, I was always respectful. So when I pass on the next generation, I have to be able to blend in. You understand? But intimidating them. And when you could tell them, you know, don't shoot up the area. You know, hear a friend or lie, you know, because you all two as boys and anything I could do. But I never tried to intimidate. I try to be as much positive speaking to them as much as possible. You understand? Well, listen to me, people. It's dangerous out there. And there are a lot of guns out there. And I mean big guns. All over Nassau in the hands of various different aggressive people. Some people have gone to protect themselves. Some have gone to just commit heinous crimes. But there are plenty guns in Nassau. All right? I want to close on that. I want to thank my good friend Chris Fireman Brown, Ambassador, and Dimitri Spindler for the wonderful program. They're going to start in Freeport, starting July 13th. Elutra, Cat Island, 7th of September, October 5th, Andres, and 1 or 2 other family islands. So I'll see you guys next week on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Listen, people, again, you're going to these nightclubs, you're going to fish fry, avoid confrontation as much as possible. If you can't, go to the police or do something. I know. But stay away from arguments. All right? So see you next week on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Valentino Brown signing off. See you next week.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I represent the Indian people.